First off, let me say that Sasaki, aka Kaneki, has to be one of the most confused anime characters I can think about right now. Off the top of my head anyway. I mean, he's had such a fucked up life. I feel so bad for him. And since we got the finger popping thing last chapter, I was actually expecting more from Kaneki this chapter. Simply because we know that's his thing. That's what he does before he goes in and whoops ass. Not saying he didn't, but most of this chapter, he still got drugged around by Takizawa. But he did do an amazing blow at the end that kind of made Takizawa back off a little bit, that kind of ended their fights. Now, there is a humongous gap in power, in my opinion, between Kaneki and Takizawa, with Kaneki being way up here, because Sasaki, he's been getting his ass whooped for like the past 5 or 6 chapters, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's like the first good hit he's got on Takizawa, and it was enough to make him back off. So for Takizawa to whoop Kaneki's ass so much and him still get up and able to do a blow like that, that just means if Kaneki was in his right mind and if he went centipede, Takizawa wouldn't stand a chance, in my opinion. And like I said, I wish the finger popping thing would have led to centipede, but hey, what can you do? It's obvious Kaneki is sneaking his way back slowly but surely, because at the end, when the death god, or god of death, whatever Hanami called him, Arima showed up himself, Kaneki was like, wait, hold on, don't hurt her, because he knows that no one can fuck with Arima. And even Hanami was like, well, I guess I'm about to die now. It's obvious he was about to call her his sister, but of course he couldn't do that in front of Arima, so he had to make up something like, I think he said something along the lines of, like, I'm the one that found her and cornered her, so I'll take responsibility for her, blah, 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 to kind of repay her for protecting him. So did he do that simply because she protected him, or because he actually remembers her just a little bit? And also, correct me if I'm wrong, but did this chapter hint that AMON is Yuri's father? Because the scene where Yuri was being praised about, you know, being a badass, the guy said something like, you know, that's the blood of someone who was a total badass. And then AMON was mentioned in the very next sentence. So I mean, I can understand why people will be skeptical and not believing in that, because AMON and Yuri have 2 different last names, although they are similar, and Yuri did mention that his father died by the owl. But even with that being said, I'm pretty sure the CCG could have bent the truth just slightly, because the last big fight we saw AMON in, he was fighting Kaneki. And I'm pretty sure they would not mention Kaneki because of reasons that may make Sasaki go insane. So they could have just told Yuri that he died in the owl fight, and they could have changed his last name for many reasons. I mean, he is a project, because the Kaneki project is relatively new. So I can understand why they would want to change his name and kind of bend the truth about AMON being killed, like how he was killed. But I truly believe the person in the next page is AMON, simply because AMON's father or priest guy mentioned to Sasaki that there's going to be this guy that can unlock your memories, and it was the silhouette of a hooded character, which is obviously this same character, and we just saw like the bottom half of his face and his hair, and he looks exactly like AMON. So this means AMON is half ghouls, and that would make the Kaneki and AMON talk that we've all been waiting for all the more meaningful, now that AMON can understand where Kaneki was coming from back then when he didn't want to eat humans, because AMON is eating a Goody member, so he's committing cannibalism, not necessarily eating humans. And I'm guessing he was experimented on by Kano and escaped. That's why he has his hatred towards Agiri. That's what I'm guessing. I have no idea. And if that is the case, this means AMON has a Kakuja. I cannot wait to see Kaneki and AMON go in together, because I'm sure it's going to happen. And I think we're going to get a big reveal in chapter 36, simply because chapter 63 was the chapter that Kaneki went ghoul and accepted Rize and ate her and did the badass shit he did to Yamori and stuff like that. Although I could be looking too much into that, but you will be surprised at how many times like manga authors have done that, like taking their original work and reversing the numbers and making an epic thing happen like that. Like in One Piece, that happened very recently with Gear 4th and whatnot. So I wouldn't be surprised, but overall this chapter was pretty cool. I like how when Kaneki saw this young white-haired Kaneki, I guess, he was like, I don't want to disappear. Please don't make me disappear. Protect me. and then that's when Kaneki really got up and started whooping ass. But that's really the only epic thing we saw him do. I was expecting a little bit more, like I said. And what's going on with that young Kaneki, because I originally thought that it was like a young, like innocent Kaneki, like the one with the black hair, but his hair is white, and I'm not sure what's going on with that. And at the end, he did like the shush thing, like he was being kind of mischievous, and that really doesn't match the original Kaneki's attitude. So if I'm missing the symbolism here, please tell me, because I honestly don't know why there is a young white-haired Kaneki and exactly what he is to Sasaki, or if that is Kaneki looking at himself. I don't know. It's like so confusing right now. I guess I have to go back and read it a few more times. But really, that's all that happened in this chapter. It was great. It got me so hyped, man. It's so good to see AMON, because I don't care what any of you guys say. That is AMON under that hood. But I'm sorry I had to speed through this review. I'm super duper busy right now. But tell me what you guys thought. It's been jbDAuchiha. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, I love the scene. Like, it made me laugh out loud, literally, when Akira was like, "Takizawa, is that you?" And he was like, "Hey, bitch, you remember me? It's the guy you always shitted on." Like, that's what his face kind of gave me the impression of, like, what he was really thinking. He looked so psychotic right there. I'm not sure why, but it gave me a good chuckle. But anyway, now I'm out.